Hello friends, George here, welcome to the channel. Today I want to show you my Commodore 116. This here is a quite rare computer. Only 50,000 units were sold worldwide and about 40,000 in Germany. They sold it between 1984 and 1985, about a year. This is the original idea of the 264. It was supposed to be a competitor for the Sinclair ZX Spectrum. It was supposed to be sold for $49. That was a very good price for the time and still is a good price, because for $49 you still cannot buy a computer except maybe a Raspberry Pi. So according to Bill Hurt, this was the Raspberry Pi of that era. For $49 you got a very small computer. I will show you. Here I have a cassette, and for comparison, it's about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, maybe 9 times a cassette. So it's fairly small. It's about the size of a ZX Spectrum maybe. It comes with 16 kilobytes, which is not very much. It's fully compatible to the Commodore 16 and has 121 colors. So an interesting thing about this computer, it comes with this power supply here, and usually, I don't know if this is consistent, the power cord has this gray line. The power supply has 9 volts here and has this connector here, unlike the Commodore Plus 4, which has also a 12 volt line. And as I said, the power cord has this gray line here, and on the C16 the line is red. So you can distinguish the power supplies of the Commodore 116 by this color here. The next point is this rubber keys here, which are awful. They are not very precise, but for $49 you have to accept some compromises. The computer was designed by Ira Velensky, who also designed the Atari ST and other computers of the time. I purchased this as untested, and we will test it later on my setup and see if this was a good buy. I paid about €100 for it, plus shipping. They go for much more today, about €200 or more. So let us take a look at the computer. As I said, this is the first idea of the 264 line, and the computer here has an RF output for the television. It has a power switch here. So now comes the interesting part. So we have here the power connector, then a reset button, serial port for printers and disk drives, cassette port, memory expansion for the cartridges, then joystick 1 and joystick 2, and the video for monitor. What's missing is the user port from the Commodore Plus 4. And as you can see, the space here is very small, so they decided to go to this mini DINT connectors, which were then ported to the Commodore Plus/4, because the Commodore Plus/4 came after this here. Marketing had an idea to make an entry computer for learning with 60 kilobytes of RAM, and then they took this overall design and put it in a larger case, the Commodore Plus/4, and to keep everything compatible, they stick with the joystick ports and the mini DIN joystick port and the mini DIN cassette port. And that's the reason why the Commodore Plus/4 has this small connectors. So, well, the first was the 116, and then the other models they developed was the 264 without the integrated software from the Plus/4, the 264 with 64 kilobytes of RAM. Then there was a 232 with 32 kilobytes of RAM, very rare machines, both. Then the Plus/4 with integrated software. It sold it for, I think, $299. Tried to sell it, but it failed, of course. And then there was a prototype, the V364, which had an additional numeric keyboard and a voice chip, so they could make the computer talk. So as I said, this was supposed to be sold for $49. Failed. They didn't make many of them. And the question is, what can you do with this computer? Actually, you can do a lot. You can do everything what you can do with a Commodore 16. And I will hook this computer hook up to my regular setup, and we will try out some software. So, stay tuned. So friends, this is the setup. Here's our Commodore 116 hooked up to the Commodore 1801, the monitor. I hooked my Commodore joystick to it and an SD2 drive, and you can see how small this computer is. Further there, his bigger brother, the Commodore Plus/4. So let us test it, if it runs. And I was lucky, the computer was sold as untested. I paid 100 euros for it, and despite if it worked or not, I wanted this. And now I'm a proud owner of a 116. So let us test out some software. Well, I will show some demos, some programs which I wrote, and some pictures and some music that I did. Not very sophisticated stuff, but well, for this computer you can see 1200 or 1300 bytes left. For basic you cannot do much things with it. And I will show you first the color table. And this is a program that I wrote myself. So you have to hit the keys right. And I hope that you can see the colors here on the cam. This displays the color palette. And we see an issue here. A kind of speckling. Well, it's a fault maybe of the touch chip, who knows. But this isn't normal. Never mind. So this is the beautiful color palette of the Commodore 116, and these are 128 colors. You have the color code here, 0 to F, which are 16, and then you have the shading, the luminance from 0 to 7, which are 8, and you have 8 shades of black. That makes 128 colors, and because 8 shades of black are black, you get 128 colors. So let's take a look at some pixel art. Actually, this is not pixel art, but more a conversion. So let me see. Okay. And Bruce Lee, which came out very well. And I did this a while ago. And I really like this picture. So let us go to the next. So another conversion. Alpha, what may this be? Alpha. I have shown this picture already in other videos, and this is one of the most beautiful cars which came out recently. Not that I am a fan of Italian cars, but I like the picture, and you can see the red is coming out really well. There's a flashing pixel here. Maybe you can see it. So this computer has a problem. Okay, it's 40 years old. And I hope you like the picture. Nope. Okay. So next picture. The DLoad is a command of the basic 3.5, which the 264 line has, the +4. It's an upgrade to the basic 2.0 from the Commodore 64. And let's take a look at this picture here. This is the discovery from the movie 2001. It's an early conversion done by me when I was experimenting and learning how this is done. Beautiful picture and beautiful little computer for $49, displaying such kind of pictures. It's I think it's an amazing computer. The overall line of 264. So let us 2002. Well, not found. Well, 2009, and then okay, this is another picture from the same movie, which I also like. Came out very well. The space station, the rotating space station, and here's the small spaceship. Epic scene in the movie, and epic picture on this little computer. So last, let me find the reset key here. Let us take a look at the file that I wanted to show previously. Okay. Well, also from a movie, and this is Vincent from the black hole. Very nice. This is high-res mode, And in high-res mode, every 8x8-bit cell can have only 2 colors, and therefore this is a limitation, but therefore you have the full resolution of 320 per 200. While in multicolor mode you have a resolution of 160 per 200, but every 8x8 cell has 4 colors. Okay. Look. So I have a song. This is the theme from Rocky, a 2-channel song. Not very good. Don't expect masterpieces from me. I'm not an artist, but sometimes I try. Oh man, this awakes some memories from back then when I tried to implement this. Let's take a look at the basic so that you get an idea. It's only the sound commands, which are the result of the export. Not bad for such a machine. So this is a cooperation between me and another +4 scener. Greetings to Raphael. And this was the time we did this when I didn't know how to combine the music part and the... No, I think it was Chabo, not... it was Chabo, not... so greetings to Chabo. Raphael did another similar demo with the SID tune, but this is not SID, this is TED's tune. So let us run the demo. And so on. So I think you got the idea. The support from Black Belt, Mega Master System game, which is very good. And I had a Mega Master System back then, and I wished I could play Mega Master System games on the Commodore +4, and therefore I did this demo here. So our next is the SVG demo. So I hope now, yes, it's loaded, and fingers crossed that this works. Yes, it works. So have in mind, I have published the tools for making this kind of graphics on my website or on my blog. I will leave a link below. and then you can try yourself these things. So let us wait until the demo finished. Maybe you can guess what I'm drawing here with the Commodore 116. And this is a SVG method, as I said. No, this is normally a 3D object, which I would normally render on the Commodore Plus 4 because it has 64 kilobytes of RAM. But because of the limitations and because of the speed issue, this would take on a Commodore Plus 4 maybe 20 minutes or so. And I wanted to do it in a less amount of time, so faster, and therefore I did this compromise of drawing only the lines by exporting the 3D model, the data of the rendered 3D model as a SVG file. So it is a vector file, scaled vector graphics, and convert it to sequential files. And with this small basic program, you can draw the lines here. So actually, if you draw this object as SVG file or render it on a Commodore Plus 4, the end result is the same. What I also like is that the picture builds up. It's there, enjoy, but you have to wait for it. Slowly, take the time. It's like making a good coffee and preparing and enjoying the whole process. You can listen to some music to it, and if you project this on a big screen, it's a real experience. It's really nice. And I like this old style vector graphics with this green lines here, which resembles the old green screens of the old computers in the 70s. So the snow speeder from The Empire Strikes Back, where the rebels fought against the AT-ATs. And I also did a video about the conversion from the C64 game, Star Wars The Empire Strikes Back. It's one of my more successful videos. So okay, what else can you do with this computer? Of course, you can play games with it, and we will play a classic here. Mr. Puniverse, a game that I had in my childhood. I played it quite a lot, and it's also for the Commodore 16 and 116 because both have the same amount of memory, 16 kilobytes. Joystick. Okay. I'm a little rusty. So, okay, I will try to okay, that end. You can see the flashing pixels here. This indicates that the machine has a problem. Okay, I think, friends, that's it for today. So thank you very much. If you made it so far, thank you very much for watching. And I wish you a nice day. And I hope you enjoyed the video, because I enjoyed making it. And I hope to see you in the next one. Bye bye. I think I will play another round here. There we are, dead end.